The cabin smelled like pine and old memories. Riley Chin stood in the doorway, snow already melting into the floorboards as Marcus Hayes wrestled 2 duffel bags and a very excited 6-year-old through the entrance. Riley. Look. Daddy said you could come with us. Emma launched herself forward, nearly knocking Riley backward into the snow. Comment below, where are you reading this from? Let us know your city. This wasn't how Riley had pictured her weekend. 48 hours at a remote cabin with her employer and his daughter should have felt like a professional nightmare. But when Emma had tearfully begged her dad to invite Miss Riley, because weekends are for families, Marcus had looked at her with such desperate hope that she couldn't refuse. Now, staring at the rustic 1-bedroom cabin, Riley felt the first flutter of panic. There's only, she started. The couch pulls out, Marcus said quickly, not meeting her eyes. His jaw was tight, that same tension she'd noticed for months now, the look of a man holding himself together with sheer will. I should have mentioned. This place is smaller than I remembered. Emma was already racing through the cabin, her light-up sneakers making the old floorboards creak. It's perfect. Like a dollhouse. Riley managed a smile. Marcus was a good father. An incredible father, actually. She'd been his daughter's nanny for 8 months, and in that time, she'd watched him pack school lunches at midnight, attend every parent-teacher conference, and read the same bedtime story 17 times without complaint. She'd also watched him keep everyone at arm's length, including her. I'll take the couch, Riley offered. Absolutely not. You're a guest. I'm the employee. His eyes finally met hers, deep brown, lined with exhaustion and something else she couldn't name. You're more than that. To Emma, I mean. The words hung between them like frost. By nightfall, the snow had become a blizzard. Marcus stood at the window, phone pressed to his ear, his face grim. No service. Radio says the roads won't be clear until Monday at the earliest. Monday? Riley's stomach dropped. But I have. I know. I'm sorry. He looked genuinely devastated. I checked the forecast, I swear. This wasn't supposed to hit until next week. Emma appeared in flannel pajamas covered in stars, dragging her stuffed rabbit. Are we stuck? We're cozy, Riley corrected gently, crouching down. It's like a snow day that lasts all weekend. Will you read to me? Both of you? Riley glanced at Marcus, who nodded. They'd fallen into this routine at home, Emma insisting on both of them for bedtime, as if she could sense the loneliness radiating from each adult and was determined to fix it. They settled on the bed, Emma between them, and Riley tried not to notice how domestic it felt. How right. Don't forget to subscribe for more heartwarming stories. I'm scared, Emma whispered an hour later. The wind rattled the windows. The cabin groaned. Marcus stroked her hair. The cabin's strong, sweetheart. We're safe. Not of the storm. Emma's voice was very small. Of being alone. Riley's heart cracked. She knew that fear. She'd felt it every night in her last relationship, lying next to someone who made her feel invisible. You're not alone, Marcus said firmly. I'm right here. But you're alone. Emma's 6-year-old wisdom cut straight through. And Miss Riley's alone. That's 2 alones. Marcus looked helpless. Riley watched him struggle for words, this man who'd kept his grief so carefully contained it had become a fortress. What if, Emma sat up, eyes shining with inspiration. What if we all sleep together? Like a real family sleepover? Emma, that's not, Marcus started. Please. The storm's so loud and I'm so small and the bed's so big. Riley saw the moment he broke. Saw his walls crack just enough to let his daughter's need slip through. If Miss Riley's comfortable, he said carefully. Every professional instinct screamed no. But the look on Emma's face, the pure hope, and the exhaustion in Marcus's eyes. Okay, Riley heard herself say. But I'm building a pillow wall. Emma giggled. Deal. The pillow wall lasted approximately 45 minutes. Emma was a tornado sleeper, limbs everywhere. By midnight, she'd kicked the pillows to the floor and somehow rotated 90 degrees, her head on Riley's shoulder, her feet jabbing Marcus's ribs. Sorry, Marcus whispered into the darkness. I can take her to the couch. Don't. Riley surprised herself with the firmness. She needs this. Silence. Then, what about what you need? The question hung in the dark like a confession. Riley thought about her ex, about feeling like scenery in her own life. About the way Marcus actually saw her, asked her opinion on Emma's schoolwork, remembered she took her coffee black, noticed when she was tired. I'm okay, she whispered back. But her voice shook. You do that a lot, Marcus said softly. Make yourself smaller. Quieter. Her breath caught. How did he notice these things? Someone I used to know, preferred me that way. She felt rather than saw him tense. Then he was an idiot. 3 words. They shouldn't have meant so much. But in the darkness, with Emma breathing softly between them, Riley felt something shift. Like ice cracking. She's right, you know, Marcus continued, his voice barely audible. I am alone. I've been alone since, he stopped. Started again. It's not that I wanted to be. I just couldn't figure out how to be anything else. Riley's hand found Emma's small one on instinct. Protecting. Comforting. What changed, she whispered. You. The word was raw. Watching you with her. Seeing Emma come alive again. Realizing that, maybe healing isn't betrayal. Maybe it's just, living. Riley's eyes burned. I stopped believing I deserved to take up space in someone's life. You do. Marcus's voice was fierce now. God, Riley, you do. Subscribe to see how this story ends. Emma stirred, mumbling something about pancakes. Both adults froze. Then, impossibly, Emma's small hand found Marcus's and pulled it across her tiny body to rest on top of Riley's. For a 6-year-old, it was probably innocent. For 2 adults terrified of connection, it was everything. Neither of them pulled away. Morning came soft and gold. Riley woke to sunlight streaming through the window and Emma's voice drifting from the kitchen. Daddy, I need 5 pancakes because I'm extra hungry from all that sleeping. She was alone in the bed, but the pillow next to her still held Marcus's shape. The indent where he'd been. Where he'd held her hand until dawn. Riley pressed her palm to the spot. Still warm. When she emerged, Marcus was at the stove, Emma on the counter, helping, by eating chocolate chips directly from the bag. He looked up, and the smile that crossed his face was unguarded. Real. Sleep okay? He asked. Better than I have in 2 years, Riley admitted. Emma beamed. See? I told you families sleep better together. Marcus flipped a pancake, but his eyes never left Riley's. She's usually right about these things. What if getting close again isn't forgetting? Riley said quietly, repeating his words from the night. What if it's remembering how to live? His spatula clattered against the pan. For a moment, he just stared at her. Then Emma, with perfect 6-year-old timing, are you guys gonna be weird mushy or can I have my pancakes? They both laughed, real laughter that felt like breathing after holding your breath too long. Pancakes first, Marcus said. Weird mushy later. Promise? Emma demanded. Marcus looked at Riley. Promise. The storm cleared by afternoon, but none of them rushed to leave. They built a snowman that looked vaguely drunk. Emma found ancient board games in a closet and insisted on playing all of them simultaneously. Marcus made hot chocolate that was mostly marshmallows. And through it all, Riley felt seen. Not as scenery. Not as help. As herself. When Emma finally crashed on the couch, exhausted from joy, Marcus found Riley on the porch, watching the sun set over snow-covered pines. "Thank you," he said, "for staying. For everything. I didn't do anything. You showed up." His voice cracked. "For her. For me. You just showed up." Riley turned to him. "So did you." The distance between them was nothing now. "Everything. I'm terrified," Marcus admitted. "Of messing this up. Of asking too much." "What if you asked anyway?" His hand found hers, deliberately this time. Intentionally. "Stay," he whispered. "Not just for the weekend. Not just as Emma's nanny. Stay because we're better when you're here. Because you make the loneliness go away. Because I can't remember the last time I felt this close to happy, and I think it's because of you." Riley's tears came hot and fast. "I'm scared of being invisible again." "I see you," Marcus said fiercely. "God, Riley, I see you. Every day. Every moment." Subscribe for more stories that will make your heart full. Emma's voice drifted from inside. "Are you guys being weird mushy without me?" They laughed through tears. "We should go in," Riley said. But neither moved. "Stay for breakfast tomorrow?" Marcus asked. "And the day after that?" Riley thought about professional boundaries, about fear, about all the reasons this was complicated. Then she thought about Emma's wisdom: people who care about each other should be close. "I'm not going anywhere," she whispered. Marcus's smile was sunrise bright. "Good." Through the window, Emma pressed her face against the glass, grinning like she'd orchestrated the whole thing. Maybe she had. Inside, they made dinner together, the three of them moving around the tiny kitchen like they'd done it 1,000 times. Emma narrated every moment like a sports announcer. Marcus kept catching Riley's eye, that small smile playing at his lips. And later, when Emma begged for one more family sleepover, neither adult hesitated. They tucked her between them, this child who'd seen what two broken adults couldn't. In the darkness, Marcus's hand found Riley's again. "She sees things we're too scared to admit," Riley whispered. "Smart kid. Must get it from her dad." His laugh was soft. Hopeful. Emma mumbled something about pancakes and love and families, already half dreaming. And for the first time in years, Riley Chen and Marcus Hayes stopped hiding. They just lived. What did you think? Comment below with your favorite moment. And subscribe for more heartwarming stories that prove love finds you when you stop running from it.